A recent study found that people who build real wealth aren't the ones with the highest incomes. They're the ones nobody notices. No flashy car, no luxury vacations on social media, just quiet, steady growth that keeps compounding while everyone else is distracted. Here's the strange part. Most of what separates them from everyone else isn't about money at all. It's about psychology. 5 habits, almost invisible from the outside, that quietly build fortunes while looking like nothing special. And the 5th one is the one almost nobody talks about, because it goes against everything we're taught about hard work and hustle. Let's start with the obvious question. If it's not income, what is it? Studies on high savers consistently point to the same finding. Savings behavior barely correlates with how much someone earns. It correlates with structure. People who build wealth quietly aren't more disciplined in the dramatic, white-knuckle sense. They've just removed discipline from the equation entirely. That's the first habit. And it's the foundation everything else sits on. Here's what nobody tells you about habit 1. Willpower fails on a predictable schedule. Every study on New Year's resolutions, gym memberships, and budgeting apps shows the same curve. Motivation spikes, then collapses within weeks. Quiet wealth builders figured this out early, so they stopped relying on it. Instead of deciding to save every single payday, they automated the decision once and never touched it again. A transfer that moves money out of checking the same day the paycheck lands, before rent, before groceries, before any temptation gets a vote. This isn't a hack. It's a psychological trick played on your own brain. You can't spend money that's already left the building. The person who saves whatever's left is fighting a losing battle every single month, because there's always something that eats the leftover. The person who saves first never has that fight. The money is just gone before the argument starts. This connects directly to a bigger truth about behavior. Removing decisions doesn't mean removing control. It means moving control to a moment when you're calm, rational, and thinking long-term, instead of a moment when you're tired, stressed, or standing in a store. That single shift, deciding once instead of deciding daily, is worth more than almost any investment strategy. It's not exciting. It's not something you'd post about, but it's the quiet engine running underneath every wealth story that doesn't make headlines. Now here's habit 2, and it's the one that trips up even high earners. Quiet wealth builders don't upgrade their lives every time their income goes up. This sounds simple, but it fights against something deeply human. Economists call it lifestyle inflation, and it's brutally effective at keeping people broke at every income level. A raise arrives, and within weeks, spending rises to meet it. New car payment, bigger apartment, a gym membership that matches the new salary. The account balance stays exactly where it started, just with nicer stuff attached to it. The people who build wealth quietly do the opposite, almost mechanically. When income rises, they split it before it has a chance to feel like extra spending money. Half goes towards savings or investments, immediately, automatically. The other half can go toward lifestyle, guilt-free. This isn't about deprivation. It's about timing. The dollar spent the moment it feels available is gone forever. The dollar redirected before it registers as extra becomes fuel for compounding. Same income, same raise, completely different trajectory 5 years later. And this habit explains something counterintuitive. 2 people can earn wildly different amounts and end up in nearly identical financial positions, simply because one of them let their spending grow exactly as fast as their income, and the other one didn't. Income was never the deciding factor. The gap was in what happened in the moments right after the money arrived. We've covered the 2 habits that quietly control the money coming in. But where that money goes once it's saved matters just as much, and that's where most people accidentally sabotage themselves without realizing it. That brings us to habit 3, and it's almost embarrassingly boring. Quiet wealth builders obsess over where their money sits, not just how much of it there is. Most people never think about this. Money goes into whatever account came with the checking account, and it just sits there, earning almost nothing. The national average savings account pays a fraction of a percent. Meanwhile, high-yield accounts, carrying the same safety, the same insurance, the same instant access, pay many times more. On a modest balance, that gap can mean hundreds of extra dollars a year for doing absolutely nothing except picking a different bank. Here's the psychological piece nobody mentions. Boring feels safe, but it can quietly cost a fortune. People avoid moving their money because the process feels like a hassle, or because the account they already have feels familiar. Quiet wealth builders treat that discomfort as a one-time tax, worth paying once to stop losing money every single year afterward. They also pay close attention to fees, the quietest wealth killer of all. A 1% fee sounds like nothing. Over decades, it can erase a six-figure chunk of a portfolio, silently, without ever showing up as a single dramatic loss. Now habit 4, and this one exposes a blind spot almost everyone has. Quiet wealth builders treat every dollar the same, no matter how it arrived. Most people don't. A paycheck feels like real money, so it gets budgeted carefully. A tax refund, a bonus, a birthday check that feels like found money, like a reward meant for spending. Psychologists call this mental accounting, and it quietly wrecks more financial plans than any bad investment ever could. The people who build wealth quietly never fall for it. A windfall runs through the exact same system as a paycheck, split automatically before it has a chance to feel like a treat. Half goes to savings or investments. Half is free to enjoy, guilt-free, because the important half was already handled. Over years, that one habit alone can add tens of thousands of dollars that would otherwise have vanished into things nobody even remembers buying. That leads directly into habit 5, the one that decides whether any of this survives contact with real life. Quiet wealth builders build a buffer before they build wealth. This is the habit that separates people who stay on track for decades from people who restart from zero every couple of years. Life sends shocks, a car repair, a medical bill, a slow month. Most people don't have a separate place for that money. So when the shock hits, it drains straight out of savings or lands on a high-interest credit card, and the whole plan resets. Quiet wealth builders split their savings into 2 jobs from the start. One pile exists purely to absorb emergencies. The other is left alone to grow, untouched, no matter what happens. When the shock comes, and it always comes, they draw from the buffer, not the future. The setback stays small. The system survives. This is the real psychological shift underneath all 5 habits. It looks like discipline from the outside, but it isn't. It's structure. Automate the saving. Control the lifestyle creep. Optimize the boring accounts. Treat every dollar the same. Build the buffer before the crisis. None of these require willpower in the moment, because the moment was already handled in advance, back when things were calm. So here's the thread connecting all 5. Quiet wealth was never about income, and it was never about heroic self-control. It was about 5 small structural decisions, made once, each one quietly running in the background while life happens on top of it. Remember the study we opened with? The one showing wealth has almost nothing to do with income? This is why. The people who build real wealth aren't smarter, luckier, or more disciplined in some dramatic sense. They just stopped relying on willpower and built a system that didn't need it. So ask yourself this: if your money ran on autopilot for the next 5 years, exactly as it does today, would you end up quietly wealthy or quietly stuck? The answer usually comes down to habits so small you'd never notice them from the outside. If this gave you something to think about, Subscribe for more breakdowns like this one, because the next one might change how you see your own money completely.